5 silly thoughts that I'm going to randomly talk about today for no particular reason. Hi, how are you? So, this is a YouTube video about 5 silly thoughts that I picked out of the Silly Thought Binder that I've talked about in a previous video, which I hope you'll watch because it's really fun and hopefully inspiring to you to write down your thoughts throughout the day. Put those notes in a binder, and after several months or a year, you've got a bunch of silly thoughts that you can use to make videos or write stories from or anything, or tell jokes when you go out to dinner with your friends. Write down your thoughts. I really encourage that. And so here are 5 silly thoughts that I wrote down about 10 of them, but I'm going to cherry pick some of the interesting ones. Okay. Do you have what it takes to be an astronaut that goes to Mars? I don't. I've thought about this. I don't have what it takes to go to Mars. Can you imagine the training you'd have to go through to be an astronaut, just to go up into space, just to hang around and orbit the Earth, for a couple of days or a week? Let alone train to be inside a capsule with 4 other people going to Mars, traveling for 9 months in a tin can, without killing each other or getting into any kind of argument, getting to Mars, staying on Mars for at least 3 months, and then getting on the tin can and coming back for another 9 months. Oh my God, because of the travel time between Earth and Mars. And no, I don't have what it takes. Do you have what it takes? But it's fun to think about. The people that would have to have the whatever they have in order to travel to Mars, I applaud them. Literally applaud them. I mean, that's amazing if you can do that. I couldn't do that. And how do they decide who's the first person who's going to step out on Mars? Do you draw straws? Is it decided beforehand? Are they going to, is it scripted what they're going to say when they first land on Mars? Because how are you going to beat, that's one small step for man, another step for mankind. One giant leap for mankind. Now you'd have to say humankind, because that would be more accurate. And my hope is whoever lands on Mars, the first person to step out of the spaceship onto Mars, I kind of hope they trip and fall face first onto the Martian surface. And the first words spoken on Mars are, oh crap. Because how are you going to beat one small step for man? You know how you beat that? Oh crap! That's how you beat that. That is a better first word, better first line to land on Mars with. Oh my gosh. That would be hilarious. And of course, you'd go down in history as for that. But oh gosh, that'd be fun. But I don't have what it takes. I think I would go crazy. I mean, how are you going to be 9 months? I suppose you could do it. I mean, I'd probably live together for quite a long time on Earth, practicing. But all the things involved. I mean, I've had roommates. In San Francisco, at one time, I had 12 roommates. When I first moved to San Francisco, I rented a room in a house. This old hippie guy rented out this house to new people who just moved to San Francisco and didn't know anything about anything. And we all moved into this big house together. And, there were like 6 of us on the first floor and 6 of us down below. And, cable wire running through. We had no sink in the kitchen. We had to wash dishes in the bathtub or the bathroom sink, and it was just terrible. But I've had like 12 roommates, but I can't imagine being stuck with like 3, 4, 5 other people in a tin can going to Mars for 9 months. I mean, there's just no way. It's not the logistics of getting to Mars that's difficult. It's how you're going to get along with these other people in such an enclosed space for 9 months. And then 3 months there, and then 9 months back. Forget it. 2 years without getting in an argument with these people? Oh my God. Sorry. It's very hot today. It's going to get up to 87 degrees. And I don't have the air conditioning on because it's going to make noise. So Here, if you see me sweating, this is why. All right, that's the first silly thought I was going to talk about. Set a popular movie in space or the Old West or ancient cave people times. I did a silly thought about this where it'd be fun to see Batman set in the Old West. Instead of a Batmobile, he's riding on a horse, the cape behind him. He'd be more like Zorro, right? But at night, and, you know, does he have the bat gadgets with him? You know, I had an idea for setting E.T. in the Old West. And I had an idea for setting Ferris Bueller's Day Off in the Old West. So, you know, instead of going to the baseball game or you know, fancy restaurants, he goes to the saloon. And he goes to see a baseball match in an old field, Old Man Johnson's farm field out there. And it'd be fun to watch, you know, Star Wars, set in the Old West, which isn't far off because old westerns is what one of the things that George Lucas was thinking about when he wrote Star Wars. It's basically a western in space. And it's also Flash Gordon in space. It's a lot of different things in space. But if you're going to set something in space, I mean, you could set, oh God, I can't, Devil Wears Prada in space. You could set Back to the Future in space. You could set The Notebook or Mission Impossible in space. I would love to see a Mission Impossible in space. That would be fun. I really should have given this much more thought and planned this out. But a romantic comedy in space would be great. A romantic comedy in the Old West. All these romantic comedies, they're so modern, right? But it'd be fun to see one set in the Old West. Or ancient cave people times. I had an idea for ancient cave people times. Setting the Big Bang Theory. Did I write it down? I wrote it down. Okay, ancient Big Bang Theory. Penny lives in the cave next door. And Sheldon and Leonard live in the cave next to her. She waitresses. Penny waitresses at the Sabertooth Tiger Meat Factory. Leonard dresses up in mythical creature costumes. And Sheldon invents the wheel. So if you said Big Bang Theory in ancient cave people times, I think that'd be fun. There was a TV show, News Radio. It had Joe Rogan and, oh my God, I can't remember his name. Phil Hartman. Okay. Phil Hartman and I think Andy Dick was on there and a whole bunch of other people. Anyway, News Radio was a fun TV show, and they did some episodes where they set it in outer space, or they set the episode on the Titanic, and it was still their office radio show location. But it was dressed up as if it was the Titanic, or it was futuristic as if they were set in space. And I love those episodes. I love it. You know, imagine the Breakfast Club set in outer space. So at the library, but outside the windows, you could see space and stars. And does that change things? Instead of running around the hallways of the high school, they're running around the spaceship. So I think that'd be fun. I mean, geez, we've made millions of movies at this point, like literally millions, right? What if we just take some of those and reset them in outer space, or ancient cave people times, or the Old West, or the Renaissance, or something, or futuristic? I mean, there's so much to play with. I mean, you got the copyrights, which prevents you from doing that, right? But if you get a studio to agree to it, Ferris Bueller's in outer space, that'd be great. That'd be a fantastic sequel. Ferris Bueller's great-grandchild in the future in outer space takes a day off. There you go. There's the premise. I mean, why wouldn't you watch that? I think everyone would watch that. Anyway, would you? I would love to know what you thought. What's this thought? If you could imagine something, then it must be possible. I thought about this one day. Actually, I thought about this on several days. You can't imagine anything that's impossible, right? The human mind can't think outside. We can think outside the box, but I don't think we could think outside the universe. So literally, whatever we think of must be possible in some alternate universe. It has to be, because there's no way we can think about anything that's not possible, right? So that means any goal you have must be possible in some other, either in this universe or in an alternate universe. Because you can't conceive of something that does not exist. Our minds hit a ceiling, right? I mean, we can make different combinations. I can, fantasize of going back in time and joining the football team and being the football star or making that fantastic basket. That exists in some alternate universe. It has to. It must, because I can't conceive of it if it's not possible, right? Do you think so? Is it possible that I can conceive of something that's not possible? That's not possible, right? Is anything I'm saying making sense? I mean, I can't imagine something that doesn't exist. And that opens up all kinds of possibilities. Because if you can find a way to make it possible in this universe, and if it can't, is there a way to enter into a universe where it is possible? There's the whole thing of, well, if you set your mind to it, anything is possible. That becomes more limited as you grow older. I can't go back in time and redo my college years. I can't redo my 20s. But I can become an author in my 40s or my 50s. I can do YouTube and Instagram after 40. It is possible, but there are more limitations. So, are there limitations? Are there limitations? I mean, clearly there's limitations, but if you get past, is a way to get past those limitations? I don't know. I mean, in your mind, is your imagination an alternate universe? Maybe that's the thing. In this physical universe, maybe there's limitations, not everything is possible, but in your mind, anything is possible. You can fly anywhere, you can do anything, you can rewind, you can go forward, you can go side to side. It's like a Willy Wonka elevator. So maybe in your mind, anything is possible. Is your mind and imagination reality? Is it a type of reality? I mean, you dream and it seems real. I wish I could take this, this thought, this idea, and just make it tangible somehow. I mean, suppose, that's what VR, virtual reality glasses, is for. I guess that's what AI is for. The holodeck on Star Trek Next Generation is for. So I don't know, maybe anything is possible with certain technological help or your imagination. That's the other thing, is that anything that we watch on television, instead of watching TV or a movie or a YouTube video, sorry, please watch mine, but instead of watching any of that stuff, you could just sit in your bed, close your eyes, and imagine a story. And you could make it anything you want. I mean, we're building these data centers to house AI so people can make, virtual reality, whatever AI movies, when really you could just close your eyes and imagine it. I mean, if I want to imagine Star Wars with the Seinfeld cast, all I have to do is imagine it. I don't need to create it in AI. I can just imagine it. But if I just imagine it, you can't hook a price tag to it. Interesting. So anyway, what else did I have? If you're bitten by a radioactive unicorn, it becomes, okay, if you're bitten by a radioactive unicorn and you become a superhero, you become Captain Unicorn. It'd be very difficult to be your non-superhero self with the big horn sticking out of your head. Even if you put on glasses like Clark Kent to try to hide your identity, you've got that horn sticking out of your head. So it would be difficult to be Captain Unicorn in disguise. Anyway, that's a silly thought that I had once. But that's just as absurd as Superman putting on glasses to pretend to be Clark Kent. Like no one's going to figure that out. You look like Superman wearing glasses, right? So that'd be like a spoof. That'd be just as absurd as putting glasses on. Well, you've got the unicorn thing sticking out of your head. So Captain Unicorn trying to blend in with everyone else. I don't think it's going to work. And let's see, the final silly thought I had for you today. Oh yeah, how many pictures? If you go on vacation, or actually just walking around nowadays, how many pictures are you in other people's pictures and you're in the background of other people's pictures? How many pictures are out there with you in the background? Probably hundreds, if not thousands of pictures. Because people are constantly taking pictures. You know, it used to be people just took pictures on vacations. Now people are just taking pictures everywhere and they're taking videos, you know? You know, if you're at a wedding or you're just walking down the street or you're walking on the beach, you're probably in someone's photos. You're probably in someone's videos as a background extra, and you didn't even know you were a background extra, which makes you think, this is the other thing, is that if your life is a movie, are you the main character or are you a background extra in someone else's movie? Or both. You are the lead protagonist or the lead villain. No, that'd be weird. You're the lead protagonist in your own life movie, and other people are living their movies, but they're background extras in your movie, and you are a background extra in their movie. That's deep, man. But it's fun to think about, you know. Because, you know, I think I had dinner with some college friends a couple years ago, and he brought up his photo album of, you know, our college days and living in the dorms, and there was pictures, because I have my pictures from, you know, my college days, and then to see somebody else's pictures of their college days, you know, the time we spent together, and their pictures are completely different, and just like from a different perspective. And, you know, there I am, but I didn't know you had that picture. I didn't know that picture existed. And, you know, you're probably in dozens, if not hundreds, of other people's pictures. And you may not even know it. And so what, right? I don't know. It's just something odd to think about. Anyway, what did we discuss today? We discussed going to Mars. We talked about if anything is possible. We talked about setting movies in cave people times or other other time settings. Captain Unicorn. And we talked about how many people's pictures you're in as a background extra. So anyway, these are 5 silly thoughts. I might do other YouTube videos where I just talk about silly thoughts for a bit. And please let me know if you like these kinds of videos, because they're a lot easier to do than scanning pictures I took on a trip to show you, which I love to do, but it takes a lot of work. It's much easier to just sit here and ramble about silly thoughts. So I hope you like these videos, because I plan to do some more of them. But I'd love to know if you like these or not. Please leave a message in the comments. I will get back to you as soon as I can in the comments. And I thank you very much for watching this, and I'll see you soon. All right. Take care now. Hope you have a fantastic week. Man, it'd be tough to be Captain Unicorn in disguise. Unless everybody had horns in their head.